It is time. We are getting ready to move in the next month or two, so it is time to declutter and purge. In today's video, you are joining me for a massive declutter and purge session, so I hope you're ready. We are going to get a lot done. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to get started. Hey guys, welcome to Jamie's Journey. I am really excited for today's video because I feel like we're officially starting the process of decluttering. I've been talking about moving, and I feel like this whole process, yes, there's a plate on the floor with food. This is clearly me showing you real life messes that happen over a very busy weekend. But anyways, I've been talking about us moving for so long. I do feel like it's been a long time coming. I think we're coming up on a year. We broke ground on our house last December. So here we are coming up on almost a year, and we are estimated to be moving the last week in November or first week in December. So we are starting the packing process, and I'm going to be bringing you along for all of it. But before we start packing, I am on this mission to just purge so much stuff. So today we are starting in the linen closet, and wait till you guys see how bad it was. It is a disaster. And so I got rid of a lot. So a lot we're going to be doing today. I hope you're ready.
So let's start listening. Let the rain wash away the tears that keeps crippling.
So before we get started and just chat about life and cleaning and all of that, how are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope the fall is going well for you guys. It is crazy. I mean, you guys know that moving is just, it's a lot in general. And I'll be honest with you, it's very overwhelming when you have your house organized and all decorated how you like it. To uproot that and go to someplace else and start new is very overwhelming to me. I know for some people maybe that's nice and it's a fresh start. For me, it's a little bit overwhelming because it just seems like it'll be a lot of work, but I'm excited. But Avery is playing fall softball, and October is our busiest month for tournaments and double headers. The twins are finishing up soccer, and then we have, Halloween, and we have a wedding, and then our niece is due at the end of October. So it's a crazy month. And actually things kind of slow down in November, which is good, so we can really focus on packing, but then you have the holidays. So right now it's a lot, but we're all good. We're hanging in there, and I hope you guys are hanging in there as well. So if you guys are looking for some decluttering and purging motivation, wait till you see the linen closet. It's so embarrassing how messy it was, but it's so satisfying when you see how much I purged. You know that I am not afraid to show real life messes because we live in this home and I have 3 kids. I will admit, I will take credit. I was the one who dropped the plate. My kids did not drop that plate on the floor. That was my mistake. But most of the other messes, I will blame on them. Anyways, here I was just reorganizing and wiping out the girls' cabinet. So I put all of their plates and cups and things like that into this little cabinet so they can get in there and get, they can get water from the fridge, or if they need a plate or a bowl, if they ask if they want a snack, they can get it out of here. So it's really nice to have it all easily accessible for them. But periodically I like to go in here because the drawer gets really gross with like crumbs and stuff because it's on the bottom part of the island. So I like to go in, and I was using my little Eufy hand vacuum. I'll have this link below, but this vacuum, first off, you're going to see me use it so much in today's video. It is handy. I almost want one in every single room because I use it so much. I use it in my laundry room. I use it in my bathroom. And then in the kitchen, I think it was only like $25 or something. So it's just a very handy little vacuum.
I wish to be me.
So I've been loving the Sprayway products. I love the stainless steel cleaner and I love the glass cleaner. They do have a multi-purpose cleaner that isn't my favorite multi-purpose cleaner. I like the Jaws and Mrs. Meyer's better. But what I do like about the Sprayway multi-surface cleaner is that it is a disinfectant as well. So the Jaws and Mrs. Meyer's are just cleaners. They're not disinfectants. And so tonight I was short on time. I didn't want to be doing a lot of cleaning, so I just took the all-purpose cleaner from Sprayway and just sprayed it in my sink because my sink didn't need a big scrub down. I didn't have the time, and so I just sprayed it. So I like that I can just use it. It has a pretty good scent. It's a strong scent, but it has the cleaning and the disinfecting. So I just spray it and then I let it sit for about 10 minutes and then I rinse it off. So it's just there in a quick pinch if I need something to clean and disinfect in one go. Sometimes when I'm cleaning, I'll have random thoughts pop into my head, and then I'll think, I need to talk about this in my video. And this was something I thought of, and I'm like, oh, I actually remembered it when it came time to my voiceover. So it is okay to take cleaning shortcuts. I think that there are times where, you guys, I can't do it all. I can't clean every inch of my house every single week. It doesn't happen. I don't clean every room every single week. I don't clean every bathroom every single week. Yes, it would be nice, but reality is I can't do it all every single week. I also take cleaning shortcuts. So I think that's important for you guys to know that you can take cleaning shortcuts. Things don't need to be perfect. For example, my bed, when I make my bed, and I know it drives a lot of people crazy, it's not perfectly, I don't fold it. I don't have the hospital corners. I don't do that. My husband is 6'3", so his feet hang off the bed half the time. So he undoes it anyways at night. But I just make my bed. It's not perfect. There's other cleaning shortcuts I take, and it is okay to take cleaning shortcuts. So for me, there are shortcuts I take, because it doesn't bother me. Like having a bed that's not absolutely perfectly made, that doesn't bother me. But then there's other things that I'm like really crazy about, if that makes sense. So I think you got to find your balance. You can't be crazy with every single thing in your home as far as cleaning. So it is okay to take cleaning shortcuts sometimes, and then maybe be like very meticulous over other tasks. All right, are you ready? Wait until you see how much I got rid of from our linen closet. This is an area, honestly, you guys, it is so embarrassing how messy my linen closet was. It has been neglected. And so another thing to keep in mind, you look at me clean my house, organize, declutter my house every single week, but I still have areas that are disasters. And I honestly, it drives me crazy, but that's life. I am trying my absolute best every single week to run this household, and areas are still messy. So hope you guys know that. But today I was just getting started in the bedroom, and then I was going to go and tackle the bathroom. And this was the perfect day to do this because I was all alone, which is insane to me. Mike went into the office, and he does not go into the office very often. He did go into the office to work, and the girls were at school. Avery's at school all day long. The twins were just at school in the morning. So I had a good chunk of free time and alone time, and it was just the right time to really focus and get to work. So I'm also going to be sharing here in a little bit the high and my low to the week. That's something that I've been doing every week, is sharing something really exciting or fun, or just the high point to my week and then the low point. It's kind of been fun for me to share every single week, and a lot of you guys have been sharing your high point and low point as well. So I'll be sharing that here in a minute. But here in the bathroom, you guys saw the linen closet, so embarrassing. So I was going to clean that out, but before I got started there, I also wanted to vacuum out and wipe down these drawers because they had gotten kind of gross, as you can see. And so I was pulling them out, and then I was going to vacuum with my little Eufy hand vacuum, and then the Aunt Fanny's cleaning vinegar spray, and I was going to wipe everything out. And while that was drying, I was going to get started in the linen closet.
I drive around in a city full of shade. Everything feels hollow when you are away. When it all comes down. When our life is too big to confound. You said I can't love anyone but you. And I know exactly what to do. You said I can't love anyone but you. I'm totally yours if you want to.
Here's your reminder. Here is your reminder. It always gets worse before it gets better. This is so overwhelming to look at right now, but it's part of the organizing, but it is a part, but it's a part of the decluttering and organizing process.
When it all comes down. When our life is too big to confound. You said I can't love anyone but you. And I know exactly what to do. You said I can't.
Okay, so as I'm decluttering and cleaning, let's talk high point and low point to my week. So I'll start out with the low point, so we end on a positive. The low point to my week, and I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not sick, it's allergies, because our weather is crazy. Here in the Midwest, this time of the year, it's always really crazy. Now for us, October, I always say this, October is our transitional month. We start out October pretty mild, and then by the end, it's pretty cold. So September and early October, it is crazy weather. Like yesterday morning and this morning, we had frost on our grass when we woke up, and for the first couple hours in the morning. And it's winter coats in the morning, heat on in the car before we take the girls to school. But then in the afternoons, it's been getting up into the high 60s. I even think we hit 70 yesterday. So we start out with frost and end the day with 70 degrees. So needless to say, my allergies are going crazy. I am sniffly. I don't feel horrible. I just feel, my head feels like it's full of snot. Sorry if that's TMI, but that's how I feel. The twins are feeling it as well. I'm taking my allergy medicine and using my neti pot, but a low point to my week, I'm just feeling more tired. You know, when I get allergies really bad, I just feel a little bit more sluggish, and just with everything going on, my head is swirling, but we're doing well. Okay, so the high point to my week. Mike and I started decluttering and packing up the garage, and I did film it. We just didn't finish it completely, so that'll be a next week's video. I think next Thursday, the 13th. But anyways, I was dreading, but we had to get in there and do that first, because if you guys have been a follower of mine for a while, you know our garage is always a mess. Like you can't have a house that has a garage that has a bunch of stuff in it. And so I was dreading that space, but we had a Sunday free. Well, I had the girls go to my parents', well, the twins went to my parents'. Avery stayed at home because she was playing with some neighbor friends. And my parents took the twins for the afternoon, and Mike and I just got busy decluttering, boxing things up, packing. We got a storage unit to store like our snowblower and bikes and like those big items and things like that. And then we just started packing things up. And when we got done, it felt so good. And I just was like, okay. So the garage, which I think was probably the worst area in our home as far as clutter and stuff, I was dreading that. And it didn't go as bad as I thought. It didn't take me as long as I thought. So I'm like, okay, I'm kind of dreading packing, but I think it'll be okay, because if the garage didn't go as bad as I thought, I'm pretty sure every other area will be the same. So I'm going to start packing here within the next week, and I'm bringing you along. You're going to be packing along with me, and we'll be packing up this house. Kind of sad and exciting at the same time. I feel so much better with that linen closet. It looks so much better. Now it's nice and clean. And see, here's my thought process. At first, I was thinking that I was just going to go and start packing and I was going to declutter as I pack. But now I've kind of shifted that. Now I'm going to go around and I'm going to declutter the spaces like I did for this. I didn't pack the linen closet up. It's still a little bit too early. We probably have another good 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks, probably closer to 8 weeks before we move. So my thought process is if I go in the spaces in our home like I did this linen closet and I get rid of all of the junk and the stuff and only keep what we plan on boxing up. I mean, that linen closet will take like 10 minutes, if that, to box up. Just grab everything, put it in a box. So if I can do the decluttering ahead of time, I think the packing will go quick. And you can only pack so soon. And obviously there's some stuff we can pack early and we can start storing boxes in our garage and stuff, but there's still a lot of stuff you need to live. So I will be packing early, but I think my main focus here is going to be decluttering. So then that will make the packing process go a lot more smooth. So it's not just decluttering, but I'm also trying to look at my house and say, okay, so I see a little ding on the wall there. Let's fix that. Let's touch it up. So here in a minute, you're going to see me wiping down the walls in the bathroom. So I noticed, I think it's lotion, which I'm like, when I put lotion on after my shower, I'm certainly not flinging lotion all over. But there was lotion on the wall. So just kind of spot cleaning and looking for all of those spots that, before you sell your house, you don't want lotion on the walls. So just kind of doing all of that. I do want to thank you guys too for last week's video. I had asked for an opinion on a situation with Avery's room. The twins had made a mess in her room. I asked her to clean it up because I needed her help. She said, I didn't make the mess. Oh, by the way, when I wipe down the wall, I'm going to use Dawn dish soap and hot water. So I either use I have 2 different wall cleaners I'll use, but if you don't want to buy the wall cleaners, Dawn dish soap and hot water does a pretty good job as well. But I had asked for your opinion on how to handle that. And I can't tell you enough how grateful I am for the community, because you guys, I got varying opinions. I did, but everyone was so kind and respectful. Nobody, it can be vulnerable to open up yourself and say, am I making the right parenting decision? Because people on the internet can be mean. And it's unfortunate. So I got nervous sharing because I was afraid someone was going to question my parenting or tell me I was doing a horrible job, which no parent wants to hear that. So I had asked for an opinion, and I got a lot of good feedback. I got a lot of constructive criticism. I got a lot of people who gave me varying opinions, but they said it in such a respectful way. So I just want to thank you for being such an amazing part of this community. And even if you critique me, you guys always do it in such a respectful way. And that says a lot about who you are, and it says a lot about your character. And I appreciate you and your opinions. I'll kind of share more of what people said here in a minute. So here in a minute, really quickly, you guys are going to see me bust out like my old ratty clothes. You know, some people are like, oh, when I clean, I always wear my ratty clothes. I will admit, when you put yourself on the internet, you don't want to look, I mean, I don't like to get done up, but I don't want to look like super sloppy. When you put yourself on the internet, you don't want to look sloppy, right? If you were giving a presentation to 300,000 people, yeah, you probably would make sure you look semi-decent. But the other reason why I can get away with wearing decent clothes like I'm wearing in this video is that I most of the time don't clean with bleach. Bleach has such a strong scent, and I hate cleaning with bleach because I'm so afraid it's going to get on my clothes and all of that. So I typically don't clean with bleach. I did pick up some of this Clorox bleach cleaner. I heard really good things about it, and I got it mainly for the window tracking in the shower. I hate that tracking. It gets so gross so quickly. It's a pain to clean. I basically have to bust out all of my fancy tools, and I just hate it. So I just wanted to spray some bleach in there. I let it sit for a few minutes, and then I just wiped everything up. So because I was cleaning with bleach, I was like, you need to put on your old clothes that you don't care if they get bleach on there. So I switched into my bleach friendly clothes that I didn't care if they got messed up, and then I'll switch back over later.
Hope you believe in us. Please don't give up on me. At least give me a try. 'Cause you're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing that I've ever had. You're the best thing, the best thing. You're the best thing. 'Cause you're the As I'm walking to your place, I'm shaking. I am picturing the words in my mind. I cannot stand losing you. No, I will fight. 'Cause I believe in us. I won't give up on you. I will be holding on.
So I know I actually talk on camera here in a minute, so I'm not going to have enough time to tell you guys about what the general consensus was about Avery's situation. I'll explain it here when I declutter the closet downstairs. But a question that I got, I think it was on last week's video, someone had asked if I've always been this clean. Have I always liked to clean? And it made me laugh. And I thought of, I'd love for you to ask my parents that question, because they would crack up laughing, literally laugh out loud, and they would say, no, Jamie was not clean in middle school, high school. My room you could barely walk into. It was like hoarders, but it was my room. And my friends would come over when I was in high school, and they would help me clean it. Which is man, I had some good friends. They would help me clean my room. It wasn't until I went to college. I think that my mom is has always been very clean and has always wanted a clean house and kept a clean house and taught me to clean. Like, I remember being like 8 and she'd have me scrubbing toilets and creating vacuum lines. I always had a lot of chores to do to help out, and she always taught me how to clean. So I always had that when I was little. Like, she formed the base. And then it wasn't until I moved into my own home, which I'm sure is pretty typical, that I got really clean. But when I was in high school, my room was a mess. So as I was sitting here decluttering and trying to decide what to get rid of, I'll admit that I definitely got rid of more things than I normally would have if we weren't moving. I think it's just, especially if you have the space. We have 2 big linen closets, so we have the space for extra stuff. So, you know, I kept questioning myself, well, how many extra blankets do we need? How many extra set of sheets or towels? You know, you kind of ask yourself, because you obviously think of, well, what if Avery has a big sleepover and there's a ton of girls here? Or what if the electricity goes out and it's in the middle of the winter and we're cold and we need extra blankets? Or what if there's a big spill and there's a big mess and we need a bunch of towels? So all of those go through your mind, but at the same time, I'm like, well, when have we needed any of this stuff? Like, we have not touched any of this stuff in years. And sheet wise, I pretty much just use the same sheets over and over. It's easier just to pull them off, wash them in the morning, and then put them on back before bed. I mean, I do think it's important to have at least 2 sets of sheets per bed in case something happens. But there's even been times with the girls, if they've gotten sick in the middle of the night, and we're just, you know, it's like middle of the night, you're tired, you just take a big blanket and like lay it over their bed, because you know that you're going to be changing sheets so often. So I mean, you even have that as an option, like a temporary option if something like that would happen. And then towels, I mean, I started thinking like, well, we have beach towels, you know, that if there was a huge spill and we needed all of these towels, we could pull down our beach towels. We have to keep our beach towels, you know, but it's something that that would be there in case we needed a lot of extra towels. So that was kind of my thinking, but I was like, I wonder what most people do. So I was just curious. How do you decide how much extra to have, you know? Because at the end of the day, it all just starts to pile up. And I think if you have the space, like I said, we have 2 big linen closets, so we have the space for a lot of that extra stuff. In the new house, even though it's bigger, and we will have more cabinet space in our bathroom, and then we have an extra bathroom upstairs, so we have 3 bathrooms upstairs. So we'll have more space, but we only have 1 big linen closet for all 3 bathrooms. So like here, I just keep our extra stuff in here, and then the girls' extra stuff in their linen closet. But you know, I'm kind of keeping in mind, like in the new house, like I probably wouldn't put sheets under the sink in one of the bathrooms, you know, but we only have 1 linen closet. So I think that linen closet will be made for sheets and extra blankets and things like that. So I don't know. I was just kind of keeping that all in mind as I was packing things up, but I was wondering what is typical for people and how much extras should you keep, you know? Okay, so this is another area that I want to declutter, and I typically do this at the change of the seasons to get, like, I'm sure we have sandals in here that we're not going to be wearing anymore. I just got some new hats and gloves for the girls, and I want to get those organized in here because we had frost in the ground this morning, so the snow will be here before we know it. And then I have some patio stuff that I keep back here, so like when we're sitting outside in the summertime, I have like my tray and candles and all of that stuff we have back here that we obviously will not be using for a while, and I would be packing that up anyways. So just like a quick little declutter and closet clean out. So most of the houses in our neighborhood, well, our neighborhood's pretty big. There's an older section and then we live in the newer section. Almost all of the houses have the same layout. And I've never seen another house in our neighborhood with a closet here. It's usually the lockers system. We will have that in the new home, so it'll be a little bit nice to have more room and let the kids have actual room to hang up all of their bags and coats and things like that. So for example, all of these shoes right here, and that bag is filled. It's all stuff that is going upstairs to be put away. So. So much less stuff in here. So the only thing we have back here, I have some crafts that don't fit in anywhere else down here that I tucked away, like Easy Bake Oven, and this big, it's like a really nice container of kinetic sand, all of their school stuff, shoes. I even divided them into like casual shoes, nicer boots and things like that for Avery so it's easier to find, hats and gloves, and then up here this is all decluttered. It's just clean cloths. This is an extra bin, completely empty. This is clean microfiber cloths. These are grocery bags, like reusable grocery bags. That's actually empty. And then over here I have my mop bucket, vacuum, corded vacuum. This is a bag I take. It's like a really, really nice bag that I take to sporting events with the girls just to have like a nice durable bag to pack snacks and meals and coats and all of that stuff that we need for fall softball games. And then that's our portable cooler that we take to games as well. So hey guys, so I'm gonna continue and do some more cleaning. Mike is in the office today, so it's been a crazy day for me, or not crazy, weird, because there was part of the day that I was home alone and it was so weird, like so weird. So he's at the office. Avery actually had early softball practice, so I already dropped her off and Mike is gonna meet her there. The twins are actually still napping. So I have a little bit of time and there's just a few things that I want to finish up and get done for today. So we're gonna keep on keeping on. So far it's been a really good week. I felt so much better after I got our bathroom done. So just trying to tie up a few loose ends so I can feel good about the week. So let's go. Okay, so as I'm cleaning Avery's room, I will explain what people said. So I got a lot of varying opinions, and I think that most people agreed with how I handled it, which made me feel good, and not in a way where I'm like, oh, I want everyone to agree with me. It was more that I felt more confident knowing that I had made a decision. As a mom, I had made a decision, decided to go with it, and most people said they think that I did the right thing or I made a good enough decision, because you want, as a mother, you want to know, or as a parent, you just want to know that you're making the right decisions for your kids. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have the mom guilt or question yourself. Now, did I get some people who say, I wouldn't have handled it that way? Absolutely. And I think that one of the biggest things that I'm going to change is we aren't going to let the twins in Avery's room. Now, I will be honest with you, they really don't go in there without her very often. That was one of the few times they've done it. What ends up happening most of the time is Avery invites them in to play because she wants people to play with. She invites her sisters in there, and then she quickly forgets that they're 3 and they don't play the way she wants, and they make a lot of messes. So then she gets frustrated. So I think moving forward, if she wants to play with them, maybe they choose something to play and then we pull it out into a common area to keep them out of her room. Because what happens is they go in to play Barbies, but then they get into the books or they get into her vanity or her whatever, you know? So I think we're definitely going to do that. And it's so hard as a parent. And the thing that I took away from you guys, and this is why I'm just so grateful for this community. I opened up, I asked a question, and a lot of you guys told me that ultimately there's no right or wrong way. Well, there is a right or wrong way to parent, I guess. I mean, of course, there's some decisions that are truly the right way, right? But I'm saying in a situation like that, the thing after thinking about it and reading all of your responses, it's such a situational situation. A lot of times it could depend on the kid. Some kids may feel that the parent wasn't being fair to them. Other kids like to help and they love being able to make mom or dad happy, and you know what I mean? So some kids, I think it's going to be different. This certainly isn't our situation, but I had some people say, like, I'm a single mom, I have 4 kids, and I have to rely on my oldest to help me out, whether or not it's fair or not. And I was like, okay, that's true. So I do think situationally, like, just because someone does something doesn't mean you should have to do it that way, because everyone's situation is different. A lot of you guys also said, like, life is not fair. I know it maybe wasn't fair to make her clean up after her sisters, but life is not fair. And I know I'm paraphrasing what these people said. I know, because that probably comes across as harsh when you're talking about a 7-year-old, but life isn't fair. And of course, do I make her always clean up and I never make the twins? Absolutely not. Does she get a lot more freedoms and special time with mom and dad all of the time? Mike and I are always doing special things with her after her sisters go to bed, or we'll take her, because it's a lot easier to take her and go places and go to dinner than it is the twins. So I just want to thank you guys for all of your opinions, and I think at the end of the day, we're just trying our best. And I think it's important to know that just because if you watch someone on social media, on YouTube or Instagram, and they do something a certain way, it doesn't mean you have to do it that way, because everyone's situation is different, and you just have to make a decision and know that you are doing the best you can for your children.